Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids. This is the first video I'm recording on my new PC. So I'm trying to figure out, how to... It's my first new PC actually in 9 years. The last PC I had, I built myself back in 2017. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out, do I have all the settings? Have I put stuff in right? I don't know. So hopefully this video will work and it won't break. I guess we'll find out, won't we? But we'll muddle our way through. Anyway, we've got a little bit of news here today, kicking off the week. Something that actually is already live in the game is the Creed summon pool. So this actually, I think, started yesterday, maybe the day before, definitely yesterday. I haven't done a video on it yet. But yeah, you've got all of the lovely assassins in here. Unfortunately, the fusion is in there, which is kind of a bummer. I mean, you could empower her with a copy. That's fine. It would also kickstart you towards faction guardians for the new faction. But probably not really what you want to get. My guess is, by the way, obviously Cassandra's here as a fusion. My guess is for these other three, they are probably going to be available from guaranteed events. That's not certain. It's far from certain, but probably they will be. Typically in these sort of events, if we look at the turtles, for example, we had Hero's Path, which would probably be for the Void, and that would be the hardest event. A Titan event for one of them. Maybe actually for Edward, and then maybe a Deck of Fate for Basim. That's probably what I would see. I still need to do a video testing out Basim, but yeah, so there you are. I think that Bayek is definitely the best of them. Basim is a good general damage dealer, and he does have block active skills, which is hard to get. There's not many good champions with it, and he can ignore block debuffs, so he's pretty cool. Edward is, a decent utility champ, and he's quite interesting as a way to deal with Mercurial gear and to provide Perfect Veil for the other assassins. Although, really, Ezio and Cassandra are the only ones who particularly need it. The regular legendaries in here as well, just to mention. Some of them are, we've got some really rubbish ones, like Abbess is rubbish. Cupidus these days is pretty rubbish as well. He really needs a buff. Hansel, actually okay, but very high investment champion to run him and Gretel, but they are a cool blender team, which is where you run ally attack, and because they've got ally attack A1s with multi-hits. Yeah, again, it's pretty good for ripping through Stone Skin or Mercurial. Check out the video I did with Pro the K to see it in action, but it's high investment. Operdin, though, Operdin's great, generalist. Oh, Helior also is pretty rubbish. Ursaga, unfortunately, is kind of rubbish as well. One of the worst Void legendaries at the moment, hasn't held up well. Timid is fairly mid, not too great, decent damage, decent crowd control, combines with Cash of the Rye. He's decent, but he's mid, nothing special, just kind of mid. Operdin's a bit better than average. He's got loads of healing, block debuff, some debuff removal. He got buffed, he's actually quite decent now, and I'd say Glycea is probably the big win here. I've got loads of comments from you guys saying you're loving Glycea for high-end arena, basically to come in and counter Fabian's, where her skills can't be put on cooldown. When an enemy tries to put them, or an ally's on cooldown freezes them, not so useful that against Fabian. He just breaks free anyway, but still. But this is cool. A 50-50 chance to deny the cooldown increase effect, and increases for each enemy under freeze, which is kind of cool. And she also gets an instant turn, can come in, put block debuffs, do an AoE freeze and turn meter boost, or steal all enemy buffs and put weaken. She's pretty sick. So I've seen her a little bit. But yeah, people are really liking her at the moment to counter Lockout, and she's going to work very well in the Mercurial meta, where Lockout is one of the only things that goes through Mercurial. Multi-hits to knock off Total Guard, and increasing skill cooldowns, which doesn't get affected by Total Guard either. So kind of cool there. The epics, actually some really good epics, I will say. Deacon, Phoenix, Stag Knight, Farrakhan, Lady Annabelle's very useful. Mordecai's great. The other ones are kind of mid. This guy is not so bad, the Barbarian. So that, it's a decent chunk of epics. So yeah, it's not too bad, this one. I would be expecting potentially a champion chase, by the way, at the end of the week. We've just come off of a summon rush. We could have a champion chase. So if you do want to buy this stuff, which is how you're going to get most of it, if you're going to buy it, ideally save your pulls until the very, very end is the better thing to do. Oh, I've set up my recording software without a pause button. Oh, that's unfortunate. Let me try bring up Plarium Play here. Will it? Hopefully it will work. I'm freaking trying to install so many things. This poor PC is running 90. I was trying to bring up the events. It doesn't want to work. Plarium play, please. Plarium play. All right, there we go. Okay, it didn't want to work the thing. So we go to the events. There we are. It's doing it live. Will there be a free pull? Yes, there will be in a Sand Devil turn attack. That's fairly difficult. Like if you're a new player, that's gonna be really hard to do. But it is there. It is an option. So yeah, I think for a later game player, absolutely worth it. Oh, by the way, installing. Ooh, we're all gonna try out. I can't wait to actually play World of Warcraft without my PC struggling to find any frames and any group content. It used to be rough, man, rough. I won't know myself. But yeah, one free pull if you can do Sand Devil. If you're later game, I think it's definitely worth it. Like, why not? Only a 1.5% chance to get an assassin, but why not go for it for the cost of a little bit of energy? The cost is not that high for a late game player, so why not? For an earlier game player, the cost could be very high. You've got, tons of champions to level up, masteries to grind, and you might not be able to run Sand Devil very efficiently anyway at a high level with quick turns. So for you, just skip it, right? 99, I mean, yeah, most of the time, not 99, 94% of the time, you're only getting an epic anyway. But if you can do it, it is good. Maybe a mid-game player could pull it off, but yeah. Now, we also have the special summon rush. Ooh, it's so special. This is the bonus summon rush. It does look like this one does not overlap with a Titan event. It doesn't have a champion soul or anything like that. It is just a pure bonus. So honestly, this is what it should be, okay? But it's often what it's not. So Plarium, unfortunately, has, I think at least twice in the past, at the end of a fusion gone, surprise everybody, you thought you could skip the end of these fusion events, but they're actually part of a Titan event, and you basically need to do them. You basically can't skip them, which really ruined a bunch of fusion plans. That sucks. I'd want that to, honestly, if Plarium came out and was said, guys, we will commit to never throwing in a surprise Titan event like that again, amazing. Yes, but will they do it? I don't know. We'll see. But it's not happened this time. And that is good, but it does mean this summon rush is not going to be quite as good. But here we go. We've got the... Oh, hang on. Still figuring out. My old PC, one of the reasons I wanted to upgrade as well, my old PC could not support Windows 11. So now I've got to get used to Windows 11. I think I've got like a Windows 11 update about to install as well, which is going to change the UI too. But we'll figure it all out. We're getting there step by step. I don't even know. Why am I even telling you? I don't even know if you guys are going to see this video. It might not work. I'm trying to record this in 1440p, by the way, because YouTube, you can adjust it to whatever fits for you. I might try record in 4K. Next time and see. I mean, my PC, I built it intentionally that it should be able to handle that pretty handily. I guess we'll find out. But yeah, so Tuesday, January the 20th, Progressive Chance event. And then on Wednesday, it's a different one. So 2 different ones. If you are going for this bonus Summon Rush event, to get those final fragments, I've skipped the other summon events. I'm just doing this Summon Rush. So we'll see. Hopefully the cost is not too high. You've got 2 different 15x events to go for. So on Tuesday, we've got the Cheshire Cat. Oh, by the way, I don't have my Photoshop stuff set up, so I can't show you what I've been doing recently, but whatever. Cheshire Cat, Quilcha the Ash Arrow, Thor Feyhammer, Croad, and Croad. Oh yeah, Croad. Yeah, I'm getting mixed up with someone else. Cool. So they're the normals. Then the normals on Wednesday, we've got Kaimar, Amok, Preva, Fabian, and Duchess Lilitu. At first glance, I would say that Wednesday's a decent bit stronger, a good bit stronger for most players. For the Voids, new features. Not now. Oh God. Well, I'll come back to you, buddy. I'll come back to you. Don't restart middle recording, please. Oh Lord. Arnor the Shining, Chalco the Blind, and Acrisia. And then, the Voids here: Fidey, Tealcrest, Sifi the Lost Bride, and Shuzan the Valorous. Okay, so. Let's go with the red. Will this work? Yes, beautiful. Okay, I would not massively recommend Cross. I would definitely not recommend. I wouldn't recommend Cross or Quilcha all that much. I would give these days. This is crazy. I'd give maybe I'd small recommend Thor. I was like, is Thor only an orange? No, I give him a small recommend. I'd recommend Croad more. I recommend Cheshire Cat, somewhat similar. So we jump into the game. Thor is really solid. But again, there are more options now. So I think Cheshire Cat, I think Croad are great examples of very similar champions to Thor that are, ooh, the ultra presets. The game looks so much better on this new monitor as well. I've got a 4K monitor. This won't fully translate to the recording because I'm not recording in 4K and I'm not recording in HDR. But my God, this looks gorgeous. It looks so good on my screen. Oh my God. Whoa. Thor's great though. Self buffs increase attack, which is great. Decrease speed, AoE, very useful. Then this is a massive AoE nuke that ignores block damage on unkillable. Very useful. His A1 can do some extra hits, which is great. And then he has an extra AoE attack, which can do a stun on his passive. He's an AoE damage machine. So he's very good for any content. He's just a great general damage dealer. Everyone loves him. Again, I think my only issue is that compared to these other champs, they are a little better. So Croad, for example, is another AoE damage dealer. He is stronger than Thor, but you require Packmaster Shayak. If you have Packmaster Shayak, but you're missing Thor and Croad, I actually think Croad is stronger overall. He's got a huge AoE, double hit, fantastic. Debuffs can't be resisted if Shayak is there, leech and weaken. His A1 is nuts, where it does double damage counterattacking if Shayak's on the team, and with Shayak's passive, whenever Shayak is hit, Croad counterattacks for free, which is incredibly good. It also bypasses reflect damage stuff, which is very useful for, let's say, the big skeleton boss in Grim Forest. He reflects loads of damage if you don't burn him. No problem. Shayak doesn't get damage reflected here. The Chimera, the Ram form in Chimera, the first form he swaps into, that reflects loads of damage if he's not under fear or true fear. Croad isn't bothered with it. This move here is an absolutely massive attack. If Shayak is there, it's absolutely ridiculous. This repeat attack is absolutely crazy. And yeah, he's getting stats as he kills stuff. Very strong. Yeah, I think Croad is, honestly, he's better than Thor, but that's with the caveat, you need to run him with Shayak, which is, to be fair, a pretty big opportunity cost. Then the Cheshire Cat is excellent as well. By the way, I've seen very little of Shayak and Croad in Arena, but they're very strong. You are relying on Lightning Cage and getting lucky with Stone Skin. And that's not how you would want to build Croad for PvE, right? In PvE content, I want him with Nature's Wrath or at 6-star Crushing Rend. And I want him with, it's not the nature, no, yeah, sorry. I want him with the Narethi Coronet and all of that, right? I want him to have all that stuff. I want him in 6-piece Merciless. So building him for PvP is quite tricky, but he's very strong because, again, he can just wipe out teams with counterattacks. And if his Stone Skin doesn't get removed and they don't have bombs or whatever, they can be hitting your Shayak. And again, you need Shayak to survive in Stone Skin too. And Croad can just rip teams apart. It's pretty cool. Cheshire Cat is the easiest one to use. He's the most general, where basically he's very strong when he's under Perfect Veil. He provides his own Perfect Veil on both of these. Extra turn if he kills an enemy. He has a cheat death on his passive, which is very strong. Speed in all battles aura. Single target nuke over here as well, which is pretty cool. He's really, really strong. So yeah, going back to this, they're all pretty similar. I give Croad, I'd recommend them a lot. Croad a slight edge. And oh, it does fun stuff now. I put Cheshire Cat maybe slightly ahead of all of them. Croad's value, as I said, quite depends on whether or not you've got Shayak in there. But they're all really good damage. Now, Chimar, also highly recommended. Very different champion. Oh, my buttons are all in weird orders now. Chimar, he's mainly used as a reset champ. Fully resets all of your champion skills. Not his, but your whole team. Very strong for speed farming, many event dungeons, Doom Tower, normal dungeons. This guy is insane, right, for all of that. He's also not bad in Arena. He's got a really good aura. He does have a full buff removal with his sleep. Not bad. You could slap him in a supersonic set. He can work. Obviously not insane against total. It isn't a hit, so it would remove a stack of Total Guard. You've got the 50-50 to remove Stone Skin. Obviously, it's worse than that, though, if they have Lightning Cage. I have seen him used, for sure, in Arena. He's decent. You're typically using him for the reset for PvE, which is very useful. There's not a ton of champs that can do it. Amok is only okay. He's sort of a Chimera specialist. I don't love him. I have him. I think he's okay. You know, big heal, block debuffs. It's on a 4 turn. A little awkward. Have to give him cooldown reduction sets. It's not bad. He does swap debuffs into positive buffs, which is cool, but it doesn't happen all that often. He'd be very good against the purple boss for lizards in Faction Wars Hard. But yeah, he's got decreased speed, pain linked, and decreased resistance, which is cool with the heal. They're protected against bosses, which is amazing. The debuffs are just not that useful. His pain link is just not great. It just doesn't do very much damage, right? You're probably looking at the pain link going, oh, there's a Chimera trial that you need to reflect damage at pain link. He's my guy. His pain link reflects barely any damage at all. It effectively does almost nothing. Kind of the best pain link champ by far is Gizmak, because he has a special pain link where his is stronger than usual. So yeah, kind of a bummer there. I was pretty disappointed by his pain link. He has Leech on his A1. So you've got lots and lots of debuffs for Chimera trials. One of the slight problems you run into, I think, is this guy doesn't have increased speed for your team. You're going to need to find that elsewhere. Obviously, Lydia combines pretty well with him, and you're probably going to need a reviver as well. Which is a bit awkward because he typically overlaps a decent amount with a reviver, so he's certainly not bad. I do find he's a little tricky to fit into Chimera. I was a little disappointed. He's not bad, but I wouldn't massively recommend him. Now, Preva, I would recommend a good lot. Fabian gets my main recommendation, and Duchess, maybe slightly ahead of Preva. I don't know. That's a tricky one. Duchess is pretty cool right now because of the assassin. So, first up, Preva. Preva, a relatively new support. Force Affinity is nice, but speed in all battles, 20%, cool. Single target revive, but it does fully reset skills. Got a good team heal, increased defense, increased speed. Some debuff transfer here. She's not bad, and turn meter boosting your team every turn. She's really not bad. She's got great base stats as well. More of a PvE healer. I'd say she's not the best in arena. She can work, but she's not the best. But yeah, she's just a very, very solid champion that's reviving, keeping your team alive, and also giving you increased speed and some turn meter boosting, some debuff removal. Yeah, she's solid. Solid PvE, very good. Duchess brings in Perfect Veil. I think with the Assassins, that gets a lot of extra value. You know, it's just, there's not a ton of champs with Perfect Veil. If you don't get Bayek or Edward, you know, hey, it's a Perfect Veil champ to give to your Assassins. She is solid in arena. Her revive is a little bit weak these days. Unfortunately, it's not as good because it has no turn meter, but it's still decent. But yeah, speed in all battles, great buffs, etc. Yeah, Duchess, you know, she used to be the queen. She's still very solid, and particularly because Volcanos is in this faction, he's very strong. And yeah, providing the Perfect Veil for some of those champs who need it. And again, it's another way to provide Perfect Veil is a nice combo with one of the new best relics in the game, which is one of the more gettable mythicals, because it's from Grim Forest, which is the Lens of Intangibility. Bonus ignore defense while you're under Perfect Veil. She's one of the better Perfect Veil champs. There's actually just not many Perfect Veil champs. So I think she's got pretty good value, to be honest. I'd put her similar to Kymar. I put Preva slightly behind. And I put them fairly equal to the damage. It depends. Do you need a support or do you need damage? Whichever one's going to fit your account more. I would generally say support is a bit stronger because there's so many options for damage. But if you're lacking a big damage, either of these could be really good. Cross is not terrible, but bombs are just not going to do as well. He's very, very nice for Faction Wars. He was a recent fusion. But bombs are just going to suffer a bit in arena. With Total Guard from the Mercurial set, they are going to fall off. They're just going to get stopped entirely by Total Guard. And he won't even remove the stacks. So he's not a champion I'd be chasing at the moment, unfortunately. I think Grim Forest Total Guard is sort of put a bit of a pin into that, which is sad. It's disappointing. And Quilcha, I think, is just mid. I don't think he's particularly good. Oh yeah, Fabian is definitely the best. Obviously, I mean, if you don't have Fabian, you really want Fabian. Dude is cracked. Great speed aura for general stuff. But the AoE, increasing enemy skills, decreasing their buffs, and then he can spam crowd control like crazy with this A2. And he's also keeps breaking free from crowd control himself, which is amazing. And he punishes revives a little bit as well. This guy does kind of everything. He is insanely good. He will be insanely good in the Mercurial meta. Yeah, like Fabian is just top tier, pretty much just for arena. He would certainly help you progressing in Grim Forest waves because he's going to put their skills on cooldown. He's going to crowd control them. He'll remove their buffs. He's great for Faction Wars Hard as well. So yeah, you can't. He's just not going to help you with clan bosses and dungeons and stuff. But he's just insane. He is one of the best legendary champs in the game. So he's the clear winner. So yeah, I think out of all of this, in fact, let's make it even bigger. If you don't have Fabian, he is the clear choice, undisputed choice. For the others, damage-wise, Cat, Thor, Croad, all similar. I'd probably give Cat number 1, Croad 2, Thor 3, but they're all fairly close. Cat and Thor are more independent. Croad is very reliant on Shayak. He has the highest potential, but he is the most reliant on a teammate. Cat is probably the most versatile by default, and Thor is great. Ignoring block damage unkillable, pretty cool for arena, but he's very squishy, hard to keep alive, whereas Cat has the cheat death stuff, and Croad, you could build him for counterattacks. Croad suffers as well, I would say, from the problem that his PvE build and his PvP build are quite different, which sucks, where, yeah, I guess the same is true for these other two, but you typically build them for PvE, certainly for Thor, I'd say, first and foremost. And yeah, there you are. For the Voids, Arnorn, Chalco, and Akrisia. For me, I'd say Arnorn is really nice arena nuker. Chalco is good, and Akrisia is also good. I probably feel something like that. So Akrisia, enemy max HP, wrong champion. Akrisia, enemy max HP, double hit, AoE, double hit, single target, and then a single hit, A1 that can put decreased defense. She's cool, right? And she also takes less damage from AoE, so she's very easy to use, right? She's gonna she takes half damage, which is very handy from AoE attacks, which is very common. Every attack is enemy max HP. She's good. She's solid. There's certainly better options, like Marius is better, Cecilia is better, but I think Akrisia is still useful, especially to newer players, and you just can't go wrong. You could pair her up with your Marius or whatever, so she is a good choice. Arnorn is more of a PvP specialist, where basically prevents his death, gives him Stone Skin, and then he does a massive AoE nuke, and he also gets more attack for the more buffs in the enemy team. So he does this ridiculous AoE nuke. It's absolutely brutal. He has a massive single target nuke on this as well. He can sort of combo between his attacks. So he's an absolutely vicious champ. He can be really nasty. This passive can just win you the fight straight up. He's very difficult to deal with, so he is a good, strong option, mostly for PvP. And then Chalco is interesting as well as a demon spawn. He has some uses for PvP. He's immune to crowd control, and he actually does like a big single target nuke that can do block passives, decrease defense, and spread all debuffs, which is insane. That's really cool. Now, one of his issues is he is super squishy. It's very hard to keep him alive. Another cool thing he can do, he can decrease enemy buffs, so he can actually remove Stone Skin, which is kind of cool. But yeah, he's difficult to use in PvP. He can work well. He can also just be a glass cannon. Well, I mean, he is a glass cannon. No matter what, he's a glass cannon. He can work. He's not top tier, but he can work. He's very solid for PvE. 3-turn cooldown, big AoE nuke with decreased speed and decreasing enemy buffs. He can be spreading, decreased defense, AoE, which is great. The block passive skills for Faction Wars hard. For Grim Forest, very useful to spread that as well. His A1 hits hard. I find him to be very strong for PvP, and he's PvE, and he's immune to crowd control as well, which is he's pretty great. So yeah, I think Chalco is good. And yeah, then Fidey, Sifi, and Shuzen. These are all really good as well. I say Shuzen probably takes the edge. So I mentioned this in my video. Sifi has the same problem. I mentioned this in the video I did on Pontiff. What's his name? Augustin. The new Void Legendary is part of the AC collab. Shuzen, right? The speed boosting. A problem with these speed boost champions, to use them in arena, if you don't have a 6-star soul, they can feel pretty bad. Now, you'd still want her, definitely, but to get the maximum effect out of these go first champions, they really, really, really want the 6-star soul to go fast. They really, really, really want max faction guardians for that extra speed. They really want a main stat speed relic, which are very difficult to get. Quite like +2 and +4 empowerment as well, folks. So it's the same thing with any champ. Any champ obviously is better with the best relics and blessings, etc. But I do think that go first speed champions, because all of that speed is locked behind the 6-star blessing in particular, it is a bit rough, I think. That being said, Shuzen is incredibly strong at it. She either has turn meter boost with increased speed and turn meter pushback with decreased speed. Fantastic. Or she has give an ally an instant turn with increased attack, crit rate, crit damage. It's amazing. Very useful for speed farming, dungeons, right? You just turbocharge a Wukong or a Siegfried or someone like that to just rip through and give them instant turn, just boosting through. Very strong. Very strong for PvP. Obviously incredibly good for PvP. So she is a great pick. Siphi, probably not quite as good. Again, Siphi used to be used as a speed booster. She's increased speed, but only a 10% turn meter boost for her team. So she can do it, but she's more typically run in 9 pieces of protection, and that's very useful, where she's got a 75% chance to protect these buffs. Particularly protecting block debuffs is really good. And then you got a nice tanky champion giving you loads of buffs, brings a revive as well with full turn meter, has a sleep that cannot be resisted if they've got high turn meter. Very cool. And yeah, kind of protecting from some crowd control. Very, very useful champion. She's still amazing. She does struggle a bit because just like Galathier, Theodosia, there's just better champions than her these days. And also she gets quite punished by supersonic sets because she's putting out so many buffs. She's really going to trigger supersonic sets, temporal chains, blessings, etc. So do watch out for that, but she is really, really good. And then who is the final one? Fidey Tealcrest. I like Fidey a lot. I've rated him very highly myself. I know you guys love him. Yeah, he's interesting. So he also is a champion who brings a reset. He's probably better than Kymar, right? Not a full reset, but 3 turns decrease cooldown is pretty much good enough. He also gives you increased resist and perfect veil, and that's on a 4 turn. He has an AoE that removes all buffs before attacking. Block buffs decrease speed and a turn meter boost for your team, again on a 3 turn. A1 is doing some healing and turn meter boosting. His passive is cool too. He's just doing a lot of stuff. I think he's very versatile. Great for PvE basically everywhere. Great for PvP basically everywhere. Just so much utility. Yeah, he's really top tier. So, man, breaking it all down then, how would... why has it done this? What the heck? Oh, getting new PC woes. What would I go for? So for me, I would be going for... It's tricky. I probably would still look for... Honestly, I would be more leaning towards... More leaning towards this day. I think Wednesday is the better day overall. I think, because I think supports are just better for an account than damage. There's just so many damage dealers in the game, whereas supports tend to do very unique things that can be difficult to replicate. So I would lean towards the supports here overall. Out of these voids, it's tough. It depends what you need most. I'd say Shu Zhen. Giving that instant turn is so unique. I'm sure there will be other champs that can do it in the future, but very few at the moment. That's really good. And honestly, these two are pretty close together. I might give the slight edge to Fidey, but Duchess is... Siphi's a very close third, but very, very close. In fact, you know what? They're actually so close, I'll say, because I love my Siphi, I'll say 2A and 2B. But I think Fidey actually might be a little more useful. I give Shu Zhen a slight edge to number 1, though. And then over here, I probably go like 3... 4, and Acrisia is last, but still a viable pull. The Voids I've basically put on their own. I should probably clarify that. This is sort of their own track in terms of the line length. This is not... I'm not, for example, saying Fabian is twice as good as Shu Zhen. Just treat them. That's why the lines are maybe a little bit... maybe I should adjust this. Too late now. We're going with it. But like the Voids, just treat the Void line length as not related to the line length of the non-Voids, which is... maybe a little bit distracting, but hey, it is what it is. For the non-voids, yeah, I'd be giving Fabian a clear number 1. I'd probably give Duchess... Again, I give all of these second, and then I'd probably give Cheshire or Crow. Any of these number 3. Honestly, let's say boop, boop, bloop. These can be joint second, bloop, bloop, bloop. These can be joint third. I've been talking about meta implications, guys, but something I would also mention here, which I think could be just as valuable. Let's say you go nub. Okay, like, you know, you've given slight preferences to each of these, but I think that I just don't like Packmaster. I don't like dogs. I don't know. A dog bit me and I hate dogs. I don't want the dog. But, you know, I love beer. Yeah, love beer. And I don't know, men from Norway are like the sexiest. Like, yeah, go for it, man. Go for it. You know, pull for Thor if you think he's just cool. Cool factor matters. So yeah, that's what I sort of feel about that. But on the whole, I actually think that for a bonus summon rush, it's actually really good. It's a really good summon rush. You can't really go wrong. For me personally, I have Fabian already. I might pull for... I still have never got a Duchess. For me, it'd be going for the cat or the Duchess. I could also, for me, go for Feidi or Shuzhen and both be spicy. But again, obviously the issue with the Shuzhen is I don't think I have a good soul. Got my soul collection. I don't think I've got a 1-star soul for Shuzhen, so it's like, oh, it's so far off the 6-star, and it's like, would I use her when I've got other champs that are 6-star? It just gets so difficult to put your fastest gear in a champion when they're just 15 speed behind another champion just before things have even started. And even worse, again, for me, I mentioned Faction Guardians. Like, I don't have Shadowkin done. So again, that's another 10. So she's 25 speed behind. Like, if, let's say I had a 6-star, I had Arbiter. I imagine I had a 6-star Arbiter and I've got the Faction Guardians done. Is Shuzhen a better speed booster than Arbiter? Yeah. But if she's 25 speed behind, Arbiter kind of wins. So that's sort of my thoughts on it, guys. Let me know what you think. Hopefully it's been interesting and insightful. We'll see. Hopefully the recording worked. Let me know your thoughts. And yeah, kind of diving in depth. I'm having a bit of fun on my new PC. I like looking at all the champs. They're all so beautiful. They're so beautiful. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.